I'm going to go ahead and quickly get through the agenda real fast tonight so we can go ahead and we haven't had a meeting for a month now, so I want plenty of time for everybody to bring up stuff if they need it. First and foremost, the doctor who's not here this evening just wanted to he wanted to bring up the idea of a discussion about event coordinators, since the event coordinators we have right now are starting college right now. And, well, a couple of them, the ones that were the most active recently, they're both starting college, and, do we need to address that? Should we possibly look into having some more event coordinators, or is that something that our division leaders are going to look at, that kind of thing? So that was the first subject. Anybody have anything to say about that?
I'm not near my computer, so I can't change channel commander on, but I'll say something. America.
Go for it, America.
I will say this, that we could definitely use more active event coordinators, but at the same time, with college and a lot of stuff going on in their lives, it's understandable if they aren't available as much. So I would say that when we put people in that type of position, they should know if they can handle it or not with their current life situation. So I would say that if any of them cannot handle it fully, like what we kind of need in our community, then we need to get maybe some interns, I guess is the best way of putting it, interns to get in there and kind of learn how the EC role works and see about getting additional ECs.
I think it's a real good point you're making. If anybody does want to step into that position, don't volunteer yourself unless you know you have the time and the energy and the passion to put into it, because we've had a little bit of turnover, you might say, in that position, and the reason is because people who come into that position suddenly get busy. Something comes up in their lives. What do you have there, Flippy?
I I wanted to ask, when you guys say the role is demanding, what exactly defines it? I mean, is it something that you can work on, in your own time and then present the steps you've taken to establish an event, or is it something that you need to be working on 5 hours a day in the presence of the admins, so on and so forth, to do it properly?
What do you have, America? I have something that I would say about it as well.
I was going to answer it since I was at EC before. I would say that I'm going to go out on a limb here and say what I believe, okay? It might not be in conjunction with everybody else's beliefs, but this is it. If you're put in a position of leadership or staff, it's not expected of you to have 5 hours a day doing something, or 4 hours a day doing something, or 5 hours a week. What's expected is that you take ownership of the situation and the staff leadership position that you're given, and make sure that you try to incorporate that as much as you can into CC Gaming. So as an EC, we expect you to come up with some events, or find good nights to do free to play nights if that's what you want to do, or if you want to do tournaments, then come up with a plan. And if you need help and stuff, that's what we're here for, is to counsel and other staff level admins and stuff. But I would not say that it's expected of you. It's not a part-time job, but it is a main time ministry, I guess the best way to put it. So, as a EC, your ministry is to develop events, to try to minister what we are about and what God and the Bible's about to other people, and try to get that incorporated into an event.
Right. Let me lay this out for those of you that may not have been around when this first came out. Okay. A long time ago, council members had very specific duties. That were different things that they covered. Now, council membership is kind of more general. We all kind of overlap in our duties about what we do. Like, certain people do specific things, but in general, we can all kind of jump in where needed. What we did was we created a position called division leader. The reason we created division leaders was so that we would have people in our chosen specified games who are kind of like the head admin in their game, almost like a council member for their game, if that makes sense. Well, under division leaders, we've created event coordinators, and event coordinators are basically, they're not division specific. An event coordinator can be, as a matter of fact, just come up with these free to play game nights, come up with polls for what games would be good to play, all that stuff. You're not going to have the same level of responsibility or administration or anything else that a division leader has. But what you do is you're kind of like the guy who holds the torch for events. In other words, anybody that has the power to post something on Facebook or Steam or the website or anywhere else, anywhere that would advertise your event, anybody that would make the graphics or the video or anything else to help you with that event, you're the person that has to light that fire and keep it lit. You're the person that has to coordinate things. You're the person that comes to everybody and says, okay, what is the best day next month for us to play this game? Or which game would you like to play, and provide a list for people. So an event coordinator, it's not like something that you do all the time, but it is something that every time you're in sees, when you're not actively playing a game, you should probably be doing a little something towards, planning the next event or planning the next tournament or whatever it is you're working on. You're kind of an ambassador for the gaming half of our community when you're an event coordinator, but you're welcome to interface with the ministry half of it as well. We can talk about that. The point is, if you take such a position, you have to have, like, you can't do it for like a month and then go, I'm tired of it. It needs to be something that when you step in, you may have to do a little bit of work. What do you have, Flippy?
It does interest me, but my question is then, since I already put an application in, would I have to change it, put a new one in, or would I just leave it as it is and just allow my interest to be my application?
We don't take applications for ECs very often.
Okay.
That's something that we will approach people about individually, and it's not like the council decides it either. It's a whole staff thing. The whole staff will talk about it. There's a good number of us, so if you're interested, it's not a bad idea to let us know. That way we can let everyone know you're interested and see what everybody thinks about it, that sort of thing. But we don't really have like an app for it or anything like that.
Okay.
Right, and it's not an administrative position. You're not going to have admin to things. You're going to be the guy who comes to the admins and says, please help me get the word out. But you're the guy who keeps the fire lit, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it's like completely separate from administration. That's a whole different ballgame. Anybody else have any other questions or thoughts about ECs? One second, get the appeal. Alrighty. Let's see, our second thing on the agenda this evening is we're now going to have book studies. We're going to do it experimentally to see how many people participate, how well it goes over. I believe that is the link to the current topic that On Growth and Scribe are pushing about it right now. The first book study, I believe, will start on September 25th and run till November 7th, something like that. Sunday nights. Don't quote me on any of that. That's all in that thread. But this is in response to people wanting more study, more of our Bible study leaders and what they have to offer. And they have graciously given up even more of their time to do so. So please find a way to participate if you can. Number 3, I have down here that football is generally now making video recordings and uploading them to YouTube, which means that our own YouTube can also add these videos to our Bible study playlist on our channel, which is two win-wins. What it is football is going to get the views if you watch meetings or Bible studies or anything on his channel. But CC is also able to add it to the playlist, so we know where it is. People can find it through us. We just want to thank football for that.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and let's see. I prepared a zip file of graphics and video stuff for our creative people. Tiger had been asking, if we had like the official colors, fonts, avatars, all that kind of stuff, so that artists wouldn't have to cut that stuff out of existing wallpapers and things like that. So I actually have, it's not a zip file, it's a RAR file, same thing. And there's two ways you can get it. The direct link. There, or you can actually go to this page. Of the website, and it will be the last button at the bottom. But this is somewhere around, I forget, it's something like 70 megabytes, something like that. Not very big, but it has oh, well, don't I actually, we have a CC flag and wallpaper engine already. I could share that with you at some point. But at any rate, if you open that CC Media Pack, you will find our avatars and seals and different versions of our graphics. A couple of what I call video logo stings, which are basically just little short logo reveals. Please, please, please. Don't associate our logos or anything else with anything unfavorable. If you're going to make a video that's got cursing or anything like that in it, please don't put our logos on that. Be responsible. Help us, keep our good reputation, good name. Yeah, like don't do what Caboose did here with his little logo. Because everybody knows there's no such thing as CC bronies. Sorry, had to chuckle there. Yes, Greg, what do you have?
Yeah, I just was curious about since I'm more of a Twitch streamer, obviously, what CC's doing to promote more of the Twitch streams and stuff, and have you guys ever thought of like maybe streaming some of the Bible studies so that people, like expanding your reach of people and Word of God, all kind of stuff, streaming that kind of stuff to Twitch so that people that come by, like you can put yourself under the category of talk show or whatever, and then stream like the Bible studies or something to Twitch and stuff. I don't know if anybody had thought about that, or trying to promote that more since Twitch is becoming a hot growing platform and stuff.
Honestly, it may come in the future, it may not. CC takes its time getting into new things. And if we get to the point where we feel that there is a demand for it, we'll probably go to the trouble. In the meantime, it's not something that we're throwing a whole bunch of effort into, no.
Okay.
We have our niche, that we fit into, and if we feel that we want to go in that direction, we will. But we've been really slowly building up the other assets that we have, like Facebook. I think we first jumped on Facebook in 2011. We're like 498 likes on Facebook right now, so we're doing okay. And we get daily views, but Facebook is one thing we worked on. We've taken 6 years to build that. So if we build Twitch, we'll get there, but it's not something that we're like, we've got to get all of our assets all lined up and we got people, trucking in all these, things to help. No, we'll work on it when we work on it, when we feel there's a need for it. Not to take away from Twitch as a viable area for ministry. That's something we can look into. It's just not yet. Anybody else have any open meeting business this evening? That was really most of our agenda topics for the open meeting. Anybody have anything they want to throw out there at all?
Pick up, Floof.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that. I'm not trying to make it a big
Dragonfire20
deal.
in your channel timed
I
out.
just wanted to let it be known, like, I get it. You know, we're a group of, you know, brothers and sisters in Christ. We're all forgiving. We all love each other. I get that. I just think that, you know, every now and again, you know, maybe try not to take the trolling too far, you know, because sometimes I can't tell the trolling apart from seriousness. For the usual, I can, but sometimes
question.
it's just hard.
Is this trolling directed at you or somebody else?
It's directed at me.
Okay. So someone is trolling you, and
Yeah, but-
so. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I can take it, and it's not like it's, oh my goodness, they're making me cry. And I know they're you know, they're probably not doing it to be over the top, but sometimes it is just one of those things where it's like, you know, calm down, bro. Like, I don't want to get angry or
Have you
something for
told
no good
this
reason.
person that?
No, I haven't, and I should.
That would be the first
I
step.
should,
Yep.
yeah. But I just wanted to bring it up just because the opportunity was here, and I didn't even know today was a meeting.
I agree.
Agreed.
Okay, well,
Well, if someone's trolling you,
Kessera
and,
joined your channel.
this goes for everyone. This is not just Floofy. But if someone is giving you a hard time, trying to joke around with you, or even not trying to joke around with you, and you don't appreciate it, the first step is to tell them that. And then once you've done that, if it continues, then we can go a little bit farther up the chain with it. But unless you've specifically told them, and again, it's not to you, Floofy. This is more to the community in general. Then there's really not much for us to do about it, or anyone really to do about it. I mean, they have to be aware of where your boundary is, and the only way we can know that's if you tell them. So.
Fair enough.
yeah, I'd like to address that also. But I'm gonna let America go first here. You had his light orange, sorry.
Hi, it's America. So, Josh can attest to this. I am the person that sometimes jokes. Oh, I joke around quite a bit, but at the same time, I also get offended by jokes, right? So you also got to make sure. Okay, I'm saying this as me, not as a council member. I'm saying this as Matt, as Captain America. Okay, that you got to make sure that if you are going to complain about trolling, and I'm not directing this at you, Floofy, so don't take that way. But if you're going to complain about trolling or people joking around with you or stuff like that, you need to make sure that you are also not throwing those same stones at other people too. Okay, because if you troll somebody else or joke with somebody else and somebody else hears it and then they say, okay, well, they're okay dishing it out, so I'm going to try to, you know, dish out a little bit too. You got to understand, if you are going to say certain things or joke around or whatever, you should be expect that in return. You can't just get mad if it's directed at you, but you're also directing it at a bunch of other people. So you got to make sure that you can't be pointing one finger at somebody else whenever you got 3 or 4 pointing back at you. So that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you, Forrest. America. No, I had something to say about that as well. If you were to look up the word troll in the Urban Dictionary, it says, one who posts deliberately provocative messages with the intention of causing maximum disruption and argument. And I, for once, cannot disagree with the Urban Dictionary definition. If you are in CC and it is your intention to cause the maximum disruption that you can, get off of TeamSpeak for a little while, okay? Seriously, I mean, really. Think before you act. This isn't middle school, folks. And that's all I have to say about that. No, really. If you find you're a victim of trolling, please tell that person, as Josh said, first. If that doesn't address the issue, pass it up the line to one of the leaders. Let somebody else try and diffuse the situation if your mentioning will not diffuse it. We can't allow this to become like this big, huge drama every time somebody feels victimized.
All right, moving on. Is there anything else that need to be brought up?
No orange lights already. That's a pretty good meeting. That's like a half hour. We appreciate everybody coming out this evening, and football will have the video recording up fairly shortly. And again, thanks everybody for your time and input. And at this point, I'll ask all of our